I'm gonna step out. I'm gonna let you guys cast this one. Thanks for letting me join you.
I hadn't even noticed that he plays double exiles now. Like, he hasn't done that for very long, right?
I don't believe so.
I think he might swap those out for, like, the third
Oh,
brawler.
you guys called it. He did play the Zeus.
Oh,
Oh
nice.
my god!
I can't believe you
Just
called
so we
Well,
didn't talk about it.
9,000 IQ
At least
confirmed.
I didn't.
no combat trainings.
Damn, that's sick.
And he's running it with 2 Sanctum, 2 Foresight, 2 Annihilation. I actually like that, because it also cycles through all the red stuff, so you find what you need.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, and the potential to, like, Time of Triumph and do something else in the same turn.
Yeah, Sanctum in mono red is insane. I really hate the 41 cards though. That's just a rookie mistake. But
Oh, I like the 41.
I mean, it just.
What do you want him to cut?
I
Pillager,
mean, anything.
maybe.
You just have to cut a card to 40.
Yeah.
Okay, I would
you
cut
can
a
do
stone
without the
wall.
Pillager here.
Yeah, like anything that's not mono blue should not be over 40. It's just.
I think having a pillager is important just to have that threat that your opponent has to play around it. I think I'd rather have 41 with a pillager than 40 without any time.
But that's just a lack of discipline in deck building. Like any card could be the 40 card. You know, like you can't say this card is so good that 41 is justified. You know.
I think it's...
I disagree with you. I think having more cards is not necessarily bad if you're causing threats that your opponent has to play around, especially in open deck list.
I think it's very interesting that he chooses to go with Beastmaster over Tide, though, because by going Tide, you could like have 3 free initiative cards as well.
I'm ready to serve, Commander.
Oh, it doesn't get the curve.
Okay, I'm off. Enjoy your casting. Bye.
Right, see you, Kiwi.
But anyway, it's just math. Like 41 versus 40. Like it's just the math of like your deck is more
just math.
It's just math, dude. Like you know, like I didn't make the math. You know what I'm saying? Like.
I mean, in a way you're right, but I mean, you also have to consider that Zeus adds another 3 7-cost cards, so you are very top-heavy compared to the normal mono-red decks, so like you can get screwed even harder on high-cost cards.
So you want to put? Yeah, I mean,
I don't know, but like if you're cutting something, you would cut what? Probably something that costs 5 or less, right?
well, the thing is, it's hard to sneak this list in because you have to put Fight Through the Pains in because you lost Tide, you know. So that's where the card loss comes from. I don't know. I cut the Pillagers because I just don't like them personally. Like, but
I do see Kiwi's point though, with like as long as you have just 1, the opponent has to limit himself somehow.
but that could be the same with 40 cards. What do you mean?
Yeah. Like you're just saying you would cut the Pillager.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you could cut anything. You know.
Yep.
Well, maybe we should commentate the match instead of
Maybe we should.
debating
So,
the principles of card mechanics, because this is an old debate for
triple
sure.
deploying lane 1. I don't understand why DMC does this.
Dude, lane 1, dude, it's prime.
I don't understand. Like he's leaving a lane completely open, and he knows DIQ has 2 Pillagers in the deck.
It's because he bought Blink and he wants to Blink.
Yeah,
Zeus
but
out.
I mean,
That's
you
the
could
only-
use the blink later. You don't need to commit to lane 1 this early.
That's true. Like he could have done that next turn, I suppose.
I mean, now you're almost like forced to use the blink from lane 1, and if something goes wrong elsewhere, that's just too bad.
Yeah. So the way you play this matchup, right, is that DMZ is going to want to blink to the last lane, even if he doesn't have the Annihilation, to either 1, top deck it, or 2, get a card out because of the threat, right? I mean, that's what I always used to see him doing.
Yeah, I mean, he's kind of in an awkward spot now. He was deploying Beastmaster, right? So imagine if you just put Beastmaster in lane 3. Yeah, he could blink Axe into the middle, so he wins that and kills Bristle. But if he already had Beastmaster in lane 3 now, he could also like develop a Stonehold Elite there.
True. Yeah.
So,
I see your point.
but now he has to completely forfeit lane 3 because he relied on the blink thing. But he ended up needing the blink for the middle, but he actually would have liked to use it for both.
Agreed. Yeah, this is very awkward
Has
now.
arrived.
It likes to.
Like, putting an elite in the last lane would be so good this turn.
Yeah, it would totally just change the game on that lane altogether. I mean,
I go where I please.
just one elite can really game change it like that. I mean, it looks bad right now with those 3 creeps, but one of them is dead and turns into a buff stone hole on the other side, and lane's under control just like that. Along with Axe's
Yeah,
body.
and like he definitely takes back the middle here, and that's very well done. Almost kills the tower actually, so it's definitely the right call blinking Axe in here and doing this, but would just have loved to see Beastmaster in the last lane deployed.
I guess.
I haven't seen this matchup played, but I mean, with the Zeus, you're way less scared of the board going wide because you've got a reset button, right? So.
Well, here's the thing.
That's
he didn't
true,
make
but I mean, it's not even about being scared of like DIQ's third lane going wide. It's more about you also getting value out of your Stonehole Elite and like just getting value out of your card.
Mm-hmm.
Because I mean, Beastmaster in lane 1 right now, he's fighting an Axe, and like that's not a winning battle.
I will be down.
Initiative card's coming down. Is he threatening? Like, what's he even threatening?
He's
here?
gonna threaten Berserker's Call
Yeah.
to trade both heroes before he can summon his beast. He's
Oh, I
gonna
was talking
trade
from
Axe.
DMZ because at first he had taken initiative, but then I saw the berserkers from Axe. This is just devastating. And so here comes the BB because he just feels like he has to.
Yeah, and like now he has to, like lane 3 is lost basically, but he's won the middle, so I guess they're both equal in that.
Yeah, this is a prime call. Goodbye, Zeus.
Well, DMZ sees it. He gets the bristle down, so let's see what he can do with 12 mana potentially.
They're talking about how the mall is now 200 IQ. Because
Oh
he
boy.
was red.
Yeah. Sick deck building.
Yeah. Fortunately, he doesn't have it right now.
Situation, Tristan. We will restore order.
Well, in any case, that Zeus is gonna be coming down way too late to save lane 3.
Yes,
hasn't
and
drawn-
no mobility to get over
Yeah,
there.
he hasn't drawn much in the way of blue spells.
I suppose he can just fight lane 1. It is nice to have Annihilate potentially be able to take away the 80 threat, because right now it's an 80 threat. I gotta be honest.
27. Well, it's going to be an 80 threat pretty soon at least.
Yeah,
Zeus has to go in lane 3.
exactly. And, you know, he's got 2 turns to pull the Annihilate.
Yeah.
I mean,
The good thing is that he's got a Sanctum set up in lane 1 already, and he's got Time of Triumph. Then he can restore mana into Coal or Roar. So
he's also
might not be
dead
looking too bad.
right now against 3-man. Is that an extension from
he
DIQ,
is,
though?
but DIQ doesn't have a time right now, and DMC can blink Axe to lane 1, and he's deploying Beastmaster, so
True, I guess.
I can ravage this place whenever I please.
We'll see if these players try to shut down the 80 threat or just fight for this first lane. It's a very straightforward game you have here. Both players taking their lane and fighting for the mid, or fighting for the first.
yeah. I mean, it's definitely a good idea to fight for the first, but I don't think you should give up value in all other lanes for it.
My thanks.
Oh, interesting. Shuts down
Yeah,
the plays from the other side.
that was a big decision right there.
Yeah, and he gets primal for it. He had the kill with Tidehunter. I mean, Tidehunter is going to take a lot of damage. But I don't know. It was a good... It was such a defensive play he chose right there.
Yeah, and he gets roared to lane 3 as well. I guess you're happy about that.
Do you roar again?
Dude, Ags are insane in this mirror, dude. Oh my gosh, this is
Damn.
insane. Oh,
Wow.
okay, well, 80 is... That's a lot of 80.
He's gonna need an
It's a
annihilation.
two-turner now.
I mean,
So that's...
DIQ has enough magic, so if DMC commits too hard in lane 1 and DIQ keeps initiative, he could actually just like pull the rug out under him and take the 3rd lane.
That's true. Like, he could feel like... Well, actually, I don't think he's going to get the money for a blink. So he's going to have to put Zeus in there. I think so? His 80's gone. There's no way he's going to 80 quicker than DIQ.
Much better.
Oh,
Yeah, he blinks lane 1, wants to go for the big time.
yeah. I'm not sure
I
I can
mean,
deal
at
27.
least we
but-
know he's going to deploy Zeus in lane 3, so he could get one of his annihilation tries.
Oh, what a insane game this is. He's
But
got
I mean,
no more initiative cards, so every card that he could play, every blink action he could take is so expensive here.
he just has to pass, dude. There's no decision here. He just has to pass. If he doesn't pass, he loses the game.
I agree. You got enough magic this first lane.
Because even if DMC gets a time and then DIQ roars him with X in the middle, so both heroes leave the lane, then suddenly he can take back the last lane. I think this was a
Thinking
very
about
fair mistake.
Oh, he's gonna double
Annihilate.
blink.
He's
He's gonna double blink to
This-
lane 1, right?
this is
Unless
100% fear of
he's doing-
annihilate. Yeah.
Unless he's just doing the math and trying to say, okay, even if he does TOT, I can block off everything and
mean, he's
have the second turn in the last lane, but with both Sanctum, so he can both TOT and call, that's going to be tough. I mean, he does have Tide Ravage, though, so...
He doesn't even need the heroes here, to be honest. Like, he's got the creeps to take it down alone. Like,
Yeah.
he can just put...
I think that's
Like,
the math
he-
that he was doing is like, can I survive Thunder God's Wraths? Do I need the heroes here or not?
I'll keep this jungle
Yeah, I think DIQ is just considering, like, can I survive DMC hitting my tower once with Time of Triumph with whatever's left after Tide is stunned? And, I mean, he's probably right in that.
I think this feels like the correct play because the IQ doesn't have any heroes in mid. Like the risk of getting annihilation blown out is big.
Dude, go mid.
I mean, I think you could do it both ways, because if you kept initiative and just clicked enough magic, then you would ensure that you had the upper hand in the last lane. And then, if you needed to, you could probably blink Tide into lane 1 and then stun.
Actually, I said go mid, but I realized first is better. He's not worried about getting annihilated.
No, now he isn't. That's why I think it's correct to leave, because now he doesn't really care about either initiative in mid or the annihilation. And the annihilation is still a requirement. He still needs it.
He didn't get it. He's got potion.
The ancient will fall.
He can magic this really, really hard. Oh, but that's believing that he doesn't have the annihilation. You know, like, that's... But if there's a man who would do it, right?
It's a tough one. Well, I think he's got a Ravage, right? So
I mean, as long as your tower's staying alive, you don't have to Ravage yet. But
I was thinking about Primal onto you can take 2 of these heroes out of there.
but then you send DMC's guys to the last lane, and then he can suddenly stall for longer. So Yeah, I really dislike having less than 3 annihilations in a deck if you're going to use annihilation because of situations like this. With 2, it's just way too inconsistent whether you get it or not.
Oh yeah, I'm,
Like,
I'm kind of the
I-
same way. I'm a 3 annihilate kind of guy.
3 annihilates or 0, in my opinion. It's better to have 3 in hand than to have 2 in the deck.
Yeah. Do you remember when Storm? Everyone was running Storm. Everybody had 2 instead of 3.
Yeah, well, Storm is a little bit different because it has so much draw power, right? But
Yeah.
I would also run 3 in.
Okay, DQ goes for the.
Okay, so he stuns and roars him. That's weird.
I don't think it's so weird because he was like he was trying to figure out first which ones are gonna get stunned so that he can then decide before he refreshes the Sanctum which ones to roar away, because he had the option of roaring any of those heroes away.
So this game's over because he doesn't have Rad in lane 3.
Yeah,
As
I
you
suppose.
Thunder Gods won't do anything to stop it. That's DMZ loses.
But this is still the winner's bracket match, right?
No.
These are
DMZ
both
not?
these are both losers bracket matches. So this means that
Oh no!
DMZ is on the brink of elimination indeed.
Yeah, and the Enough Magic does it anyway.
Damn,
Damn,
3-0, yeah.
that's brutal.
was not expecting the trio.
Yeah, me neither, dude. And revenge has been taken. Let's say it.
And it was looking so
DMZ is my
good for
friend.
DMZ as well this last game.
Yeah.
Let me see.
Damn.
Let me see if I can get the guys to chat to this.
Revenge, dude. That's definitely not how the finals of DCL went. Dick was ready today. DIQ. I'm sorry. I think I'm at like a 50%. Maybe.
You're 50% what? Sorry.
Apparently he wants to be called DIQ instead of Dick. So I'm trying to remember that. It's hard.
We are both used to calling him Dick, but yeah, he's actually DIQ. All right, so the players are gonna join
It's
us.
actually
in a sec.
the IQ.
Indeed. He wants his nickname to be pronounced DIQ, or to be read DIQ.
Gotcha.
Yo, yo, yo. Good games.
Sure.
Well, I mean, I guess you were a bit on the unlucky side, and it was really, really cool to see you bring up the Zeus. So tell us, what's the idea behind the
So
Zeus?
you got out.
I wanted to ask you what's the well, first of all,
Oh, the stream cut out as well.
Oh no.
are you serious?
Okay, it's kind of bad.
No, mine's fine. Yeah, sorry, I have my internet is under a bit of strain. So basically, yeah, congratulations. I feel like you were a bit unlucky in both of the first games, and then you switched to the Zeus. And I wanted to ask you, what's the idea, the plan, and what is Zeus trying to achieve in there?
Well, I wanted to play Zeus first deck, but I was like, this is DIQ and he runs Smash. And Smash literally neutralizes the whole idea of the deck. Because the idea is you get Sanctum in lane 1, and then basically anything your opponent does, you do double. So like, pretty much when you get to TOT turn, you can just double TOT on the same turn, kind of. And hopefully by then you've also got a Foresight. And then hopefully you've also, if you don't, hopefully you've got a Annihilation. Because if you don't have Annihilation, then they can kind of run away with a lane, which happened in this game. But I don't think there was any way for me to get Zeus there anyway. But yeah, it was interesting. I think I misplayed by doing both roars. I think I needed to hold one. But yeah, it was pretty fun.
Yeah, we were discussing about the fact that, due to constraints, obviously you cannot play everything. You were playing 41 cards and only 2 annihilations. What's the idea behind splitting the Foresights and the annihilations into 2-2?
So basically, Foresight is to kind of find the TOT and Annihilation. I know it kind of doesn't really make sense because you have less what's called annihilations, but yeah, this isn't the most streamlined deck, but it does work pretty well sometimes. And then the what's it called? And then yeah, you kind of want to thin it so you don't get Thunder God's Wrath, because it's kind of useless in mono red mirror. It's pretty good in like red black or something, or against mono black, but or mono blue sometimes even, but not in this matchup. So yeah.
All right, so yeah, unfortunately this was an elimination match, and you're out. It was really great to have you. I don't know if the other guys want to have to ask any questions regarding the matches or the decks.
Yeah, we were laughing at the mall the whole time, and then he ended up. We were laughing about how it was actually maybe going to be good in the end. I don't know. I was a little disappointed that you lost the last game because I wanted to see if the Zeus could make the comeback.
To be honest,
oh, go ahead.
Sorry, like the mall, I had to like it was turn 2 or something. I had to play around it because he had like 10 gold and what's his name? Axe had like an empty spot, so I had to deploy into first lane, which I didn't want to do. So I don't know, it kind of. But saying that though, I did blink out of the lane. But it was like when I saw he wasn't running Smash, I was like, yeah, this is. I was gonna play this first, like I said, but you know, he brings Smash sometimes. But I found it really kind of. So okay, you said I was unlucky 9. Did you guys feel that in general?
First game felt really unlucky.
Yeah.
From my lens, like it just felt like everything went wrong. But I have to go back and watch it.
I'd like to ask, why do you put such a heavy emphasis on lane 1?
No,
a lot
maybe
of the time you would triple deploy in lane 1 when you would have no hero in lane 3, for instance.
So, I think I did that in the last game. That was no, not the last game. The one before, maybe.
You did in the last game as well.
I'm trying to think where there was one where I had 2 good heroes and I put them both in lane. I think that. So that was kind of a mistake, but it worked out because I got the spring in mid and that killed his hero, but he had a TP which neutralized it.
Yeah, sorry, I'm specifically talking about in the early game, in the first deployments.
Oh right, I always go like first lane pretty much with what's his name, Beastmaster. I feel like I'm not saying it's wrong, but I feel like, for example, there was one time where there's 2 bristlebacks in last lane, and then he puts his Beastmaster last lane, I put mine first lane. I feel like it's more important to get the first lane advantage than the last lane, kind of. If it goes your way, sometimes if you do that duel, for example, then you can have 2 heroes stuck there for a long time. And that's just something that's happened, like, you know, I've been doing that for a long time now, I think.
Yeah, I can see what you mean. Like, I'm very curious in this case specifically because I think that decision is what enabled diQ to snowball and take the Ancient in the last lane throughout the whole. Since, like, on mana 5, you had 3 heroes lane 1, and you had LC in the middle who was getting curved on by Bristleback.
Yeah.
So you blinked X in to save LC, which like was a good play. I would have done the same. But if you had deployed Beastmaster into lane 3, you would have been able to develop a Stonehall Elite there on mana 5 instead of like just having nothing in the lane.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I was kind of playing. I was gonna get my Annihilation, kind of, or it was, or you know, or it would be too slow. Like he wouldn't be that fast. But
that's true. But even then, like you could have annihilated lane 1 with Zeus.
Yeah, I was considering that as well, but I don't know. I just like going first lane, and then like I said, he had them all, so that kind of made me deploy that. I didn't have any creeps in hand, but I drew 2 on, and I really didn't want to lose the Sanctum. So, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Gotcha. Well, I was gonna ask. I mean, how confident are you overall in that Zeus splash list? Because I remember you ended up. I mean, you had like a crazy. If I recall it correctly, you played it a lot that one month, and you had a really good win rate
Yeah.
with it, and then kind of flopped out of the main event
Yeah, I
with it.
went 3-3 in the main event.
Oh, okay. Well, that's not horrible.
Well, I started 0-3 and then won the last 3. And I mean, I was
okay.
facing people like Swellzong and Joe, so
Okay,
No.
so free wins then. Okay.
yeah.
Hey, at the time I wasn't a free win.
I mean, you were playing Ursa, so you know.
Oh, that was when you went Ursa. Okay, good
Just
memory.
because I'm actually trying stuff and not playing the same deck every day of my life.
I'm one of those guys. I love playing the same deck, just deck mastery. Like everyone's
Yeah.
like, "Oh, so sick of playing the same decks." I'm like, "I'm not, dude.
I'm
We're
not sick
learning the
of playing the
matchup
same
better and
decks.
better every day." Well, yeah. I don't know. I love UB Econ more than my red black list still, but
In theory, I love playing the same deck again and again, but when you lose again and again, it's not so fun.
Yeah.
And I laughed that he put combat training in as well. That was pretty funny. And then he got it turn 1 as well.
Speaking of
poised the
wacky
strat.
builds, I have some inside information that might be relevant for the next match, but I'll let you guys know if it comes to that.
inside information.
Key
Oh, yeah.
information
Oh, yeah.
inside
What does that
match?
mean?
What?
It means someone with privileged information about what might happen in the next match came to me and told me some stuff.
Dude, you can't